In this video I will explain what is transcription and the transcription guidelines and the segmentation rule for this particular project. Okay, you will be working on any of your native language, maybe Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Punjabi, Gujarati, right? So in all these languages we have to follow some rules. Okay, and we also have to follow some segmentation rule. So I will explain in this particular video. Okay, I hope you have watched the previous video where we have given you brief about the platform, uh, because that video will help you to understand these guidelines better. Okay, so please go through that video and then come to this video and then understand each and everything here. Okay, so let me just give you a brief about what is transcription. So transcription is just converting spoken words into written text. Okay, so if someone is speaking something or the audios you are getting, there will be some speaker, they will speak your native language. Okay, so we have to write whatever they are speaking. So this is the basic definition of transcription. Okay, as a transcriber we have the responsibility to transcribe each and everything very correctly. We have to listen to the speaker. If in some cases if we are not getting what the person is trying to say, then we have to listen to that particular audio 2-3 times and try to understand, so that we can get the correct word of the speaker. Okay, so as a transcriber you have to understand the audio and you have to transcribe into words. Okay, so this is not a translation work. So if you are getting a Tamil audio and you are working on Tamil audio, you don't have to translate it into English. Okay, so as a Tamil transcriber or as a Telugu transcriber, you have to transcribe in your own language. Okay, and for transcribing in your own language you have to use Google input tool. So from here you can get Google input tool and add to your Chrome extension. Okay, and then with the help of that tool you can type in your language easily. Okay, so after transcription, let's understand what is segmentation. Okay, so segmentation is like dividing the audio into smaller parts and manageable parts where we can hear something. Okay, now when I say hear something, it may include speech, it may include noise, music and any other things. Okay, we just don't have to create segment for silence, but anything other than silence we have to create segment. Okay, so we will create some manageable and small segment based on the rules. Okay, so in our project the maximum length of any segment will be 15 seconds. So we will not be able to create any segment longer than 15 seconds. Okay, there is another rule, like let's say speaker 1 is saying something, and while he or she is speaking, they took a pause in between. Okay, and the pause is greater than half a second or 500 milliseconds. Okay, in that case we have to create separate segment for the first and the last word. Okay, so I will explain that into I will show you the same on the platform as well. Here you can see one example. Let's say the speaker one started here. Okay, he say my name is, and then he took a pause of let's say 600 microsecond, and then he say Ramesh. Okay, so now we have to create one segment for this particular part, my name is, and as the pause is greater than 500 ms or 500 ms, we have to break here, stop here, and then we have to create new segment for the last word. Okay, so this is how we have to work on segmentation. Now apart from this, there will be some labels to use on segmentation and the transcription and everything. So let us just go to the platform and understand each and everything. Okay, so I will show you everything practically as well as I will explain here on with the guidelines. Okay, so let's log into the platform. So we will give you some credentials, email and password, and with the help of that you have to log in. So once you log in, it will ask your name, so just write your name and then select your gender. Okay, and then save it and then confirm. Okay, so once you log in, you will be able to see the screen like this. As I mentioned in the previous video, from here you can open the file. So just click on open the file. Also here you can see the total duration of the file you have. So just open it. Once you open, in this particular project we are going to provide you some machine transcription. Okay, so in the machine transcription you will be able to see the segments already there. Okay, and also something is transcribed already. Okay, so it may be in your target language, it may not be in your target language sometime. Okay, so let's see how we should start working on this particular file. Okay, so after login and after opening the file, this is the segmentation area. this is the wave area, right? So first of all we have to check each and every segment before moving or typing anything. Okay, so let's just correct some segment first. So as you can see there is wave, okay, but the segment is far away from this particular wave, so it is incorrect segment or at incorrect position. Okay, so what have to, we just have to drag and just put it here, and then we have to correct it. So let me just correct it. Now I have corrected it, so this segment is correct. You can see no wave is cutting at starting and ending, so this is totally fine. Now I will move to the next segment. Okay, now you can see there is a need of segment, but no segment is here also. This is very far away from, so let's drag it, correct it. Let me correct it. So the segment is corrected from, sorry, I think there is some issue, but the segment is corrected. Okay, so now I have corrected the segment. Now let's see this particular segment. So here the starting and ending point we can correct, right? So let us just correct it, and let us just correct it. Okay, so this is how we have to correct the segment. And while correcting the segment, if by chance if I made any segment longer than 15 seconds, the segment itself will show error that this particular segment is longer than 15 seconds, so you can't make a segment longer than 50 seconds. So we have to make it short, do it short or cut it short. Okay, also while creating segment we have to consider the 500 ms rule, that as I explained earlier. So this gap might be 500 ms. So now this is the speaker, same speaker speaking. So in this line you will be able to hear a particular speaker, and in this line a different speaker. Okay, so when we want to check whether this is a 500 ms gap or not, if there is no segment, then I can select anywhere, right? And I can put my cursor here, and as mentioned in the previous video, with the right and left arrow key I can measure 500 ms. So let's jump for the left. So from here to here it jump for 500 ms, but when I am on the segment I cannot directly select here. So to select here, either I can select here, okay, it is selected now, or in case there is also a segment, okay, in that case what you can do, you have to press Alter if you are using Windows, and if you are using Mac you have to press Option key. Okay, so press Option key and then select here. So now you get the cursor on your required position. Now just press right arrow key. So I just press right arrow key and it jump 500 ms. So and it's moved to the next word. Okay, so this is not a 500 ms gap, right? So we can create a longer segment here. Okay, in case let's assume this is a 500 ms gap, what should I do? So in that case I have to split this particular segment. I will not do like, I will not adjust this segment to this, and I will not create a new segment for this. I will just split it. Okay, so to split, just go to this particular segment. Here we are in the segment, click split from here, and the first click on the wave to mark the split point. So just click here. Okay, now this point is selected. Now let's say this particular word is this particular word here. Okay, so I will put my cursor here, and then it will show us that they are splitting the segment. The first word is in this particular segment, and the remaining part of the sentence is in this particular segment. So I will just select yes. So now you can see the segment is splitted. Now I just have to adjust this. Okay, so this is how we can use split function. Now this is also a missing part of this particular speaker, so let's drag it. Okay, now this is incorrect, so let's correct it. Now here I can see I don't think there is any 500 ms gap, so this is the correct segment. Also it is not more than 15 seconds, so it is fine. Now let's assume let's measure 500 ms here. Just put the cursor, press right arrow key. It is also not 500 ms, so we can create a combined segment here. Okay, so let's just drag this segment from here to here and correct it. Okay, now this gap might be 500 ms, so I will put my cursor here and check jump. So it is exactly 500 ms, so I have to break it. Okay, so I will go to this particular segment, click on split, select the wave area here, and then select this particular word ending here. So okay, and then done. So now it's created two segment. Now in case let's assume there is one segment and then there is another segment. Okay, now this gap is not 500 ms, and if I am creating a single segment, it is not also exceeding the 15-second rule, right? So what I will do, I will just go to this particular segment. Okay, let's say there is something written hey. Okay, so these are the two segments and the gap is not 500 ms, I can see, and I can also measure, right? So what I will do, I will just go to this particular segment and click on merge, and it will merge these two segments. You can see the time 19:153 to 19:893 and 19:928 to 20:323. So just merge it and it will create a single segment, and it will also merge these two words, right? So this is how we have to use merge and split. We also have to make sure 500 ms rule, and we also have to make sure that segment is not exceeding 15 seconds. Okay, as I mentioned earlier, you are going to get auto transcribe file, so there will be issues with the segmentation, so you have to correct the segments first. So let's assume that we have corrected all the segments. So now all our segments are corrected. Okay, now we have to do the actual transcription here. Okay, so let's assume that this file in your target language. Okay, let's assume if you are a Gujarati transcriber, it is in Gujarati. If you are Tamil transcriber, the file is in Tamil for you. Okay, so let's see this particular segment first. Okay, so once you create any new segment or the segments you are receiving, you will always have the speech label here. Okay, but you have to verify whether it is a speech, noise, or something else. Okay, so I will go to this segment and do shift plus escape and listen to it. So there is something the person is speaking. Okay, so it is speech. Okay, and the person is saying let's assume this file in Hindi. Okay, the person is saying in Hindi, the person is saying मेरा नाम राम है और मैं बुक लेने जा रहा हूँ. So let's assume this the person is speaking in Hindi. Okay, and he said something or she said something. Okay, so as you can observe here, whatever the person is saying in their native language, in Hindi I am writing in Hindi, but whatever the person is saying in English, I am writing in English. So this is what we have to follow in the entire file. Okay, so as also the person is saying something, so this is speech. Okay, we'll come to this particular segment again. Okay, but let's move to the another segment to understand different labels of this particular area. So let's say there is another segment. Okay, in this particular segment I play and hear, so there is no speech, but there is only noise in the background, so heavy noise. So I will select noise from here. Okay, now let's assume this particular segment have music only, so I will select music. Okay, now let's assume there is only a background speech, people are talking in background, but our main speaker is not talking anything. So there are human voices, but they are not our main speaker. Okay, so I will select Babel. Okay, now let's consider that there is a word, let's consider this. So this is a human speech, but you are not able to understand what the person is trying to say, maybe because of some background noise or network issue or something else. Okay, it may be a word, or it may be a total 2 words or 3 words or an entire sentence. Okay, so earlier it was a complete sentence, my name is the person said that let's say assume my name is Ram. Okay, so you can hear my name is, but the word Ram itself is not clear to you. Okay, so for that particular word, what we have to do, we have to select unintelligible. Okay, and then we have to put a tag here. So we'll show you, help you understand the tag in the end as well. Okay, so whenever there is a speech, we have to select speech. If there is noise, we have to select noise. If there is babble, we have to select babble. If there is music, then we have to select music. If there is some unintelligible word or unintelligible sentence, then sorry, then we have to select unintelligible, and then we have to put this particular label. Okay, we will show you how to get this label. Okay, now as we understand, first we corrected all the segment, we follow all the segmentation rule. Now we come here and we understand that this is speech, noise, music, unintelligible or babble. Okay, now let's understand this. This is the speaker. Okay, so if in this channel, if you are hearing a speaker and if you are given name speaker 1, then you have to select speaker 1. If it is speaker 2, then you have to select speaker 2. In most of the file you will get 2 speakers only. Okay, so whoever the speaker, you have to select the speaker. Okay, now here you will also see 2 other options. So the first option is for number and the second option is for English word. Okay, so let me write something here. So if this particular segment, this particular audio clip have English word in it, then we have to select yes. If it does not have any English word, then we have to select no. Okay, so it have English word, right? We can see, so we will select yes. If this particular segment have any number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10,000, 5,000 rupees, $500, 2 meters, 5 feet, something like that. If there is related to number, then we have to select yes. If there is no number, then we have to select no. So you can see there is a word 3 represents number, right? So we have to select yes. This is also in native language. In Hindi we call it teen. So for teen we have to select yes. It may be similar in your language. Okay, so when there is a number, irrespective of the language, it may be in English, it may be in your native language, we have to select yes. If there is English word, it doesn't have to be a number, any word in English, select yes. Okay, now whatever the speaker you are listening, you have to confirm their gender. So select here, let's say this is female, so I will select female. Now for speaker 1, everywhere you will be able to see female. Okay, for speaker 2, this is speaker 2, if I make it male, then you will be able to see male for speaker 2 everywhere, and for speaker 1 we have selected female. Okay. Now as you are getting machine transcription, sometime it may give you transcription in any other language. Let's say you are working on Gujarati, it may give you transcription in Hindi, right? Let's say you are working in Tamil, it may give you transcription in Telugu. In that case, what we have to do, we have to delete that particular transcription from the segment. Okay, so let's say this file is in Hindi, okay, but here the transcription is given in Gujarati, so this is Gujarati. So what we'll do, we will delete and then we will type whatever the person is saying in Hindi. Okay, so let's say the person is saying Suprabhat, then we will write Suprabhat in Hindi. So if you are Tamil speaker, you have to write in Tamil. Okay, so these are the basic rule for the segmentation. To create segment, to select speech label from here, to select speaker, to fill these details, and to select gender. Now let's move to the actual transcription of the language, where we have to follow many different rules while working on the transcription. Okay, so also we have mentioned everything related to these rules in the transcription, different label and everything. Okay, so in the guidelines you will be able to see each and everything. We will go one by one. Okay, so now as we have corrected segments and let's say we are doing the transcription, so this is the first segment in Hindi or in maybe your language. So the person is saying मेरा नाम राम है और मैं बुक लेने जा रहा हूँ 3 दिन से वो देने नहीं आया है. Okay, so while I am transcribing in Hindi, there are some English words. So for English words, we have to consider this as a foreign language. Okay, so when there is a word in foreign language, I mean not in your target language. Okay, so if it is in English, you will be able to understand it, right? So you have to write the spelling, okay, in the English, and then we have to put a foreign tag here. And to put foreign tag here, just select this particular word book and then press Ctrl plus K. Okay, then use arrow keys to go down, okay, and then press enter, and the book word will automatically come into the foreign language. Okay, similarly, if you are not putting this in a foreign language, you will see the error, foreign language found without tag. Okay, here is a word without tag, so we have to select this and then we have to press Ctrl K, then we have to move to foreign tag and press enter. Okay, so thus this word is also in foreign word. So this is the first rule. While we are transcribing in a target language, if we are getting any foreign language word, we have to transcribe it in foreign language label. In some cases, let's say if you are working on Tamil and you got a word in Gujarati, and if you are not you didn't understand the word, then you can create an unintelligible segment for that particular word. Okay, where we don't have to put the foreign language label. Okay, in case you understand, then you can put a foreign language label and then you can transcribe the word. Okay, so this is how we have to use foreign language. Now there are two different tags similar to foreign language, initial and PII. So let's understand initial. Okay, so in general we hear many short forms in our daily life. Let's say ATM. Okay, so ATM is a short form of automatic teller machine. Similarly, MBA, right? Okay, so when we hear any word like ATM, so they spell letter by letter, right? MBA, letter by letter, and they have something. These are short form of something other word, right? So as I mentioned, ATM, automatic teller machine. Similarly, MBA, right? So these are called initials. Okay, so we have to put these things in initials. Okay, so to put in initial, let's say it's a word ATM. Okay, so in the ATM, I will select ATM, I will press Ctrl K, and then I will select initial. So now you can see the ATM word is in initial. Okay, but the ATM is also an English word, right? So it is foreign for us in this particular project. So we'll also put a foreign language on the top of it. So we'll select the entire word with the label and then we'll press Ctrl K, move to foreign language, and then we'll select foreign language. So this is how we have to put. So foreign language and then initial and then the word. Okay, so the initial text will come inside the foreign language if the word is spoken in English. Okay, now there may be a word like NASA. Okay, so NASA is maybe a short form of something. Okay, but it is not spelled as word by word, like not spelled as ATM. It is NASA, it is a proper word. Okay, so in that case we have to transcribe in a local language only. So in Hindi we'll write NASA like this. Okay, you can write in your own language. Similarly, UNESCO, or there are maybe some other words which doesn't spell in a form of words like ATM or MBA. Okay, now the third is PII. PII means personal information. Personal information can be your mobile number, someone's mobile number, email address, home address, Aadhaar card number, PAN card number, account number, and their name. Okay, so if the person if the person himself, herself, or if they are talking about some other people, if they are not celebrity, okay, then we have to consider all these things I have mentioned earlier as a personal information. Okay, so let's say my name is, let's say the person is saying my name is Ram. Okay, and also the person can say the same in Hindi. Right, let me just copy from here. No need to copy. Okay, so the person is saying my name is Ram. So first of all, Ram is a name. Okay, and the person who is saying my name is Ram is may not be very famous or maybe not the celebrity, right? It may be a person, normal person, common man, right? So what we have to do, we have to select Ram and then we have to click K, control K, and then we have to go to PIA with arrow and down arrow, and then we have to press enter. Okay, now Ram is the name, so it is in PI. Okay, now we have to select the entire word because it is in foreign language as well. Okay, so we'll put a foreign language label as well. Okay, so this is how we have to work. Also, always after this text, always put a space. Okay, if you are writing something. Okay, so I have to always put a space here once the tag is ending. Okay, now similarly the person is saying mera naam Ram hai, so in Hindi Ram is a person name as well, so we'll put a PII here as well. Okay, but it is not in English, so I will not put a foreign language label here. Okay, so these are the three tags. Now in this transcription, when we are giving you the auto transcription, generally when we speak, like when I am speaking, you may hear like most of the many time I use sound like right. So these are all filler sounds. So when while speaking we get stuck at some point and we use create this kind of sounds and we call them filler sounds. Okay, so we in this particular auto transcription you will not get any filler word written automatically, so you have to put all the required filler word in the transcription. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so this is in not my target language, so I will remove it. I will put the correct transcription here or type the correct transcription after listening to the audio. Okay, now let's say the person is saying लेने जा रहा हूँ 3 दिन से वो देने नहीं आया है. So the person just use a filler. So I will press Ctrl J and put a here. Okay, and press enter. So in the entire file you will not get any filler sounds directly filled by our side. So you have to make sure that whenever needed, whenever there is a filler sound in the audio, you have to put that filler sound, and the filler sound will be in your target language only. So if you are a Tamil transcriber, you will get the filler sound in Tamil. If you are a Hindi person, you will get in Hindi. Okay, sometimes like while speaking we also stuck, and instead of we may say oo, ha. Okay, so if we are saying ha, yeah, okay, then for we can use this this filler with hashtag. Okay, we don't have to type, we have to select from the drop down list. Okay, but sometimes when we are talking to someone, let's say can you come to Bengaluru, then the person will say so in that case I give the affirmation, I give the answer to the question. Okay, so this is not a filler sound. In that case I have to type the word itself. Okay, in your target language. Got it? Okay, now let's move to the third type of labels. Okay, so let's listen to this particular segment. Okay, so while listening to this segment I heard some noise in background. So this is not in the entire audio, or maybe in the entire audio or after some word. Okay, so let's say the voice is clear. Okay, so I am able to understand what the person is saying, but the entire segment have noise or the entire segment have music. So what I will do, I will press Ctrl L and then I will put a noise or music label as per requirement. Okay, because this particular segment has speech as well as music, but the music is in background. Okay, if the segment don't have speech at all, then we will select the music from here, but if there is speech I can understand, right, then let's say the entire segment have noise, then I will put the noise at the start of the segment. Okay, now it will represent the entire segment have noise. In case when the person is saying lene ja raha hu, there is no noise, but once the person says teen, okay, once the person says this particular word, but after this particular word there is some instant noise or instant music, then I will put that particular tag here. If there is laugh, then I will put laugh. If there is a cry, I will put cry. If there is some background speech, people are talking in background, then I will put background speech. If there are applause, I will put applause. If there are some sound from animal, I will put animal. If there are sound from machines or vehicles, I will put machine. Okay, so let's say there is a sound of bike, so I will put machine here. Okay, so this type of three different tags we have to use in the entire transcription. The first one tag was here, okay, and then the second tag is initial PII and foreign language, okay, and the third tag is like these are the instant tags where we can put in the segment itself, and then we also have to do filler sounds. Okay, so we also have to put filler sound whenever needed. Okay, apart from this, there are some other rules that we have to follow while transcribing. Okay, so the rules is we cannot write numbers here. Okay, so if you are writing number, then it will show you error. So whatever the errors are there, you will be able to see the errors here, and once you solve the error, it will disappear. So let's say if I remove this, the error will go, right? This is the new error, that the segment is empty. So whatever number we are hearing, it may say 10,000, 5,000, 500, 200, 300, or in your native language maybe 3, 2, 4, 5. Okay, whatever it is saying, we have to write in words only. Okay, so if the person is saying 3, I will write 3 in words. So 3, okay, now I want to select 3. So you can see this is at the position number 6. So just press 6 from the keyboard, you will get the 3 here. Okay, if the person is saying $5,000, okay, then I will write $5,000. Okay, we don't also we cannot put special character, so character like at not allowed, hashtag not allowed, any special character is not allowed. Okay, you will see the errors here. So if the person is saying at, we have to write like this. If the person is saying hash, then we have to write hash. If the person is saying percentage, then we have to write percentage. Okay, if the person is saying rupees, then we have to write rupees. Okay, if the person is, let's say, saying email address, so my email address is ramesh@gmail.com. Okay, if the person is saying dot, then we have to write the dot like this. Okay, we cannot put dot like this. Okay, so whatever the person is saying, we have to write everything in words only. Okay, so also ramesh@gmail.com is a PII, right? So just select it, Control K, and then put in foreign label, right? So something like that we have to work. We have to write everything in words here. Okay, now let's see if there are any missing rules. So I have explained this particular segment, okay, instant segment, sorry, the main labels of the segment: speech, noise, babble, and intelligible. Okay, and then I also explained if there is a number, then we have to select yes. If there is English word, then we have to select yes. Okay, then we also have to annotate gender, and then we discuss some open tags or instant tags that we have to put inside the segment when they occur, right? Apart from this, we understand initial tags, foreign language tag, PI tag, so we have to put all of them. Also we understand filler sounds or filler words. Okay, the shortcut is also mentioned here. Okay, and now let's discuss what type of punctuation we have to follow. So we have to follow all the grammatical rules. Okay, so while following the grammatical rules, we can use comma, we can use exclamation points, hyphens, periods and question mark. Okay, in Hindi instead of periods we use khadi pai, then we have to use khadi pai. Similarly in your language, if instead of periods if you are using something else, you can use it. Okay, we also discussed that we have to put numbers and special character into words. Okay, so if you are writing like this, it is incorrect, it will be correct. Okay, this one thing we have to discuss here, colloquial shortcuts. Okay, so let's say in Hindi there is a word ja raha hu. Okay, so the person may say main ja raha hu. If the person is saying ja raha hu completely, then I will write ja raha hu. Instead of this, sometimes people say ja raha hu. So this is a short form or a colloquial shortcut that we generally use in our daily lives. Okay, so if you heard any thing like this, then write it as it is. We don't have to write the full word. Okay, similarly in Marathi, the standard form is jato ahe, but sometimes people say jatoy, then we have to write jatoy. Okay, if the person is saying jato ahe, then we have to write jato ahe, but in case the person is saying jatoy, then we have to write jatoy. Okay, sometimes people may mispronounce the word, so short form and mispronounce is a different thing. Okay, so let's say the person say call your representative. Okay, so instead of the person says instead of representative, the person say representative. Okay, so in that case we have to correct the word itself. Okay, if they mispronounce it. Okay, but this is not the mispronunciation, it is a colloquial shortcuts people use in their daily lives. Okay, so please consider this. Okay, also in English there may be some short forms like she don't know, so we have to write it as it is, she don't know. We do not have to write like she do not know, we don't have to write this. If there is any grammatical error, then we don't have to correct, like he been done work. Okay, so if we see there should be a has. Okay, it is incorrect, but we don't have to correct it, we have to write it as it is. So we don't have to correct any grammatical errors, we can only correct a wrong mispronounced word. Okay, but we don't have to correct any grammatical error. We also have to follow capitalization rule. Generally the capitalization rule applicable to English only. So let's say if there is a country name, okay, people name, and if we are writing in English, then we have to follow the capitalization. But most of the time people name, country name, company name, all we can write in our native language, so we don't have to follow capitalization for them. But there may be some sentences like I live in Udaipur, so the I should be capital. Okay, starting of the word should be capital. Okay, this I have already explained. The person is saying he is 6 feet 2, then we have to write he is 6 feet 2, something like this. Okay, if the person is saying Mr. Smith this way please, then we have to write complete word Mr. We cannot write the short form here. If the person is saying doctor, then we have to write doctor. Okay, sometimes as I mentioned earlier, the person is saying IBM, FBI, then these are initials. Okay, there is some full form of it. But if the person is saying my name is John, JOEHHN, okay, then we don't have to put initials, because there is no full form of this particular word. Okay, similarly Hindi, mera naam Ajay hai, the person is saying Jaya, then we don't have to put in initial. Okay, for numbers, all the numbers should be in words. Okay, NASA is a complete word, so do not put initial. Also for the word itself, okay, we have to write the full word. Okay, OKAY, we don't have to write O and K. Okay, and we also don't have to put in initial. Okay, so we don't need to put in initial. Okay, sometime while the people are speaking, they may get stuck at a particular word. Okay, so in that case we have to use tiles for truncated words. Okay, so truncated words mean like the person is saying what's the time, so the person didn't complete the what word here, but then he says the complete word. So for this word we will use a tiles. Okay, so these are the basic this is the basic overview of the platform. Okay, you have to use all shortcuts here. You can see the shortcuts from here as well. Okay, just please follow what how I have explained everything to get the better outcome, we have also mentioned the entire flow here. So first fix the segment and then annotate the segment and then transcribe the speech, check this and try to understand segment by playing 1 or 2 times. Okay, so these are the basic guidelines. In case you have any confusion related to anything, you can ask us and we will the project manager will help you understand, right? So that's it in this particular video. Thank you so much.